Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you
Yes.
see like slides now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Sorry about that. I think I was on mute. Sorry. Okay. We're only gonna do like 20 minutes today. All right. It's 15-20 minutes. So we're actually not gonna have a quiz today. We'll do that on Wednesday. So today we're going to talk about something that I mentioned in the assignment today. Opposing claims. You might also know it called counterclaims. If you've just arrived, write present in the chat so you can see who's here. And just a couple of pieces of business first. If you remember, we have 3 weeks now until the end of the semester, the end of the marking period. Okay, that ends, I think it's January the 22nd or something. So we have 3 weeks left. That is the end of the semester when you get like a credit, one of your credits, right? So it's kind of important to try and do as much work as possible by the end of the semester so you can get your average grade up for the semester, all right? We're going to be doing new assistant teachers today, if I can find a pen, and we'll talk about opposing claims and today's assignment. First of all, some of you did this this extra credit thing. This was a murder mystery thing that I did, that I think I assigned the day we left, the Wednesday before Christmas. Some of you have done that. Some of you are very close to the right answer. So that's just a Padlet to do and to write your answer on. I'm going to reveal who the mystery, or the details of the mystery on Friday. Okay, that'll be on Friday. So if you still want to do it, you have until Friday to do it. I don't know what that noise is. All right. So does anybody want to do attendance? Anybody want to do attendance this week? Anybody want to do attendance? Anybody want to be the game referee? That will be for Wednesday, not for today. And anybody want to be the chat monitor this week? And anybody want to do any reading? Anybody? You can
I'll do the reader.
So Nathan, I'll write you down as a possible in case someone else wants to do it. Does anybody, if you write your name down in the chat, or write down which position you want to take? Attendance, game referee, or chat monitor? Anybody want to do that?
If no one wants to, I wouldn't mind doing attendance.
Who's that? Is that Simone?
If nobody else wants to, yeah.
Hi Simone, all right, I'll put you down for that unless anyone else wants to do it. Michael will be chat monitor. I was hoping we were going to get some new names if anybody wanted to do it, but okay, Michael. And then game referee, maybe we'll decide that on Wednesday unless someone wants to call that right now. Angeli, okay, thank you, Angeli. You'll be the game monitor, game referee. We'll do that on Wednesday. We're not going to play a game today. Okay, so we're going to whiz through stuff in about 15 minutes. So the first thing I want to talk about is opposing claims, okay? So when you write an argument essay, all right, you have to write your claim, which is saying what you believe in, all right? And you've got to support that with evidence, but you've also got to show the opposing claim, what the other side of the argument is, okay? So the opposing claim is just what the other side of an argument is. All right, here's an example. All right, if the issue is students using cell phones in class, a claim would be students should be allowed to use cell phones in class. So somebody might make an argument essay using that claim, and you would have to show the opposing claim, what other people believe. And the opposing claim is just the other side, right? Students should not be allowed to use cell phones in class. So even though with an argument essay, you're trying to show as much as possible evidence for your side of the argument, you've also got to show that you understand the other side of the argument and also seek to show those people where they're wrong or where they're going wrong, okay? So if our claim was babies should be genetically engineered, what would the opposing claim to that be? You can write it down in the chat. What would the other side be here?
Babies should not be genetically engineered.
Exactly, right? Babies should not be genetically engineered. It's just the other side of the argument, right? So if you're writing an argument essay and you're saying babies should be genetically engineered, okay, and you're going to find evidence to support that position, but you're also going to want to have a whole paragraph of your essay where you're showing that you understand why some people think babies shouldn't be genetically engineered and saying why those people are wrong. All right. Now, for the assignment I posted today, right, it was a text, looks like it was number text 3. And one of the questions at the end is, what is the opposing claim in this text? Okay. So when you're trying to find an opposing claim, all right, with a good argument essay, every argument essay will show the other side of the argument. Okay, so when you're trying to find an opposing claim, the first thing you got to do is think about what is the author claiming. All right, so let's look at text 2. Right, this is the text. It's titled "Gene Editing is Here. It's an Enormous Threat." Right. Now, is this a person for or against genetic engineering? Just based on the title, what do we think?
Against.
Against.
It's against, right? Because they're saying it's an enormous threat, right? So the claim is genetic engineering should not be allowed, right? So you've got to find somewhere in the passage or somewhere in the text where the author is discussing the other side of the argument, where the author is saying, well, some people think genetic engineering should be allowed, right? And so normally where you find this is near the end of the essay, of the text. But in this example, it's actually in this paragraph here, paragraph 3. And the author says, Nathan, can you read that bit for us? Just a bit in yellow.
No, the vignette. The prospect of genetically eliminating crippling diseases is certainly appealing, but this promise masks a darker reality.
Right. So this is where the author is acknowledging that there is a certain good things to be said about genetic engineering, right? That it gets rid of certain diseases. And then you've just got to summarize what that opposing claim is and how the author rejects it. So in our example here, what he's basically saying is, you know, genetic engineering, some people think genetic engineering is good because you can get rid of certain diseases, right? And then he rejects it by saying, but this promise masks a darker reality. Is that a good rebuttal or a good rejection? Not really, I don't think so, but that's his way of putting it. He's saying it promises, it masks a darker reality. He doesn't really go into that much detail about what that darker reality is, but that is a rejection of the opposing claim, right? So when you're writing how the author rejects it, you might write something like this. And Nathan, if you could just read that bit at the bottom for us.
The author acknowledges that genetic engineering can cure diseases. However, he argues that the possibility can have unforeseen consequences.
Right. So really, all I'm doing in this bottom bit is just summarizing what the other side of the argument is that the author is acknowledging in the text, right? The author acknowledges, or acknowledges just means to recognize, that genetic engineering can cure diseases. However, he argues that this possibility can have unforeseen consequences. All right. On Wednesday, we're going to do a little bit of practice about how you write an opposing claim. Because when you write your argument essay, part of that is one of those paragraphs is going to be presenting an opposing claim and rejecting it. Okay, but for the purposes of today's assignment, right, let's go through it. Number 3.7. Oh, Simone, sorry, Simone. Do you have the link for the thing? Did I send it to you?
No.
Simone, I'm going to send that to you now. Sorry, it's the same link as before, but so you can do the attendance. They're in the chat.
All right.
Here we go. Here's the link. Sorry about that. As I was saying, right. So today's assignment number 3.7. It's the final text that we're going to look at for this unit. All right. All good argument essays show the other side of the argument, what we call the alternate or opposing claim. When you were in middle school, if you did argument essays, they probably called it counterclaim. Okay. And as I explained in the video I make, we call it alternate or opposing claim in high school because that's the language they use on the Regents exam. All right, so today's assignment asks you to identify the opposing claim in the text. So the first thing you have to do is watch the video, and this little video I make about opposing claims. And really you want to focus on the first part of the video where I talk about identifying an opposing claim. And then here's the link to read the text. You just click on this to read the text. You can enlarge it if you want to, if you're doing it on your phone or on a computer. If you prefer to look at it as a Word document, you can just go to the Files section and it's in the Files section. And then the last step is to open this quiz and answer the questions. I think there are 7 questions. Let's have a look. This is due on Friday, this Friday. So I just wanted to focus on the last 2 questions on the quiz. Okay, so question 6, Nathan, read question 6 out for us.
Sure. What counterclaim, opposing claim, does the author address in this article? Summarize it in your own words. The author acknowledges that blank because and then
leave it. Stop just there a minute, Nathan. Sorry. So you've got to work out first of all what side of the argument is the author in text 3, and then you've got to find where he's trying to show the other side of the argument. All right, and then when you're writing this down, this is the way you would write it. The author acknowledges that genetic engineering should or should not be allowed, whatever, because, and then give the reason that the author gives that people use to support the opposing claim. Okay, and then question 7 is Nathan.
How does the author refute, prove it's not true, this counterclaim? Explain using evidence from the text. The author argues, however, that. Right,
so that's how you would start this, right? So you've got to show, you've already said in question 6, what is the other side of the argument that the author talks about? And in question 7, you've got to say, well, how does he say that that's not true? How does he refute or rebut that claim? And again, you've got to use evidence from the text. So you might start off that question by saying, the author argues, however, that, and then whatever he uses to rebut or to refute, oppose that claim. Does that make sense to everybody? Brianna, I know you, is Brianna there? Does that make sense to you, Brianna? I'm gonna say yes. I don't know if Brianna's there. Michael, question, is that Sid the Sloth thing optional? Yes, it is. It's just for extra credit. It's just extra credit, Sid the Sloth thing.
Wait,
yes, Nathan.
For question 6, right? Do we have to acknowledge what the author is for or what is he against?
So you've got to acknowledge
like the format.
So in question 6, you've got to say what the author is acknowledging. He's acknowledging the other side of the argument. So I think one of the earlier questions was, what is the author's claim, right?
Yeah.
Here, you've got to work out what is the other side of the argument that the author is talking about or discussing? All right.
Wait for question. Wait, what counterclaim does the author address in the article? Yeah. So when we go, what is he against for question 6?
Okay.
The format.
All right. So let's say for argument's sake that the author's claim is genetic engineering should be allowed.
Yeah.
That's his claim. That's what he's arguing for in the whole of the essay. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there should be a point somewhere in the essay where he's going to present the other side of the argument, the people who say genetic engineering should not be allowed. Right? So
Yeah.
at some point in the essay, he is going to acknowledge that. Right? So for this question 6, you've got to say the author acknowledges that genetic engineering should not be allowed because, and then the reasons that people use to support that opposing claim. Why do people
Okay.
say that genetic engineering should not be allowed? What is the reason they come up with? Okay? And then in question 7, what you're doing is saying, how does the author say that other side of the argument is wrong? What reasons does he use to justify saying that the other side of the argument is wrong? Does that make sense, Mo?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is someone peeing? I don't know. I can't answer. Not me. All right. Any questions? Any more questions about this assignment or about assignments in general? Work in general? Everyone good? I'm going to...
Yep, I got my notes down.
What's that? Who said that?
I was writing my notes down.
Oh, you're writing it. Is that Aaron?
Yep.
Hi, Aaron. How you doing?
Good.
I think we will leave it there unless anybody wants to say anything else. Make sure you've written present in the chat so Simone can write your name down. Otherwise we will meet on, I think it will be Wednesday. We'll meet on Wednesday, and we're going to play a quiz on Wednesday, which will be a 2020 review quiz, the news in 2020. All right. Any other questions? Does someone have their hand up?
No.
No? Brianna, you good? Okay. All right, guys. Stay safe. Good to see you all, those I can see. And we'll speak on Wednesday.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Have a good
Bye.
good day, everyone.
Goodbye, Mr. Wick.
Bye. Simone, did you get everyone down?
I'm almost done, but
All
I
right.
have the names. Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. All right. I will see everyone on Wednesday. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Mr. Wick.
Bye. Bye, Let's